and welcome to my channel. It's my last day in St. Petersburg where I grew up, and today I just want to show you one of the examples of a historical apartment in downtown of St. Petersburg. In 19th century there have been a lot of architects and designers who came to St. Petersburg and built beautiful apartments. In Soviet Union time, these apartments have been turned down into communal apartments. And one apartment where usually one family used to live, there could be about 10 families living all together using the same bathroom kitchen. But today it's not about that. It's about a family who bought one of their communal apartment, and because they appreciated art and history, they put a lot of effort and money into renovation of this historical monument. So I know Alya for 20 years.
More than 20 years.
Yeah, more than 20 years. And we went to the same school. Every time when I come to St. Petersburg, actually not just because when I come to St. Petersburg, I just feel a very, very strong connection, because sometimes in life you have people who understand you, even sometimes more than you understand yourself. So,
even without words.
Even without
we just
words.
know what we're thinking all the time.
Yes, and this apartment is also a very special place for me, because when I first time came in here, I was truly impressed. So basically it feels like you're in a Hermitage. It's also all because Alya's parents, they really appreciated art and history, and we've been always talking about that, and it's a lot of work and a lot of effort to maintain, to restore and maintain.
It took about 10 years to do the whole reconstruction.
Yeah, I believe so.
To repaint, to have everything cleaned. Almost 10 years. For example, this room was divided into 2 or 3 parts with walls, and 2 or 3 families would live here. So everything was covered in paint, all the walls, even the fireplace, the beautiful white marble was covered in dark blue paint, because the idea of a beauty and luxury in Soviet time was not approved. So people tried to hide it, even if they would leave something beautiful. So the first thing that we did was to uncover everything, to clean, to bring this beauty out. And what's amazing is the Venetian mirrors that stayed the same. They were not cracked, they were alive, so they were all original.
I remember when we were kids, and in the wooden living room, we would
it was called a smoking room.
And we did a lot of spiritual things.
Yes,
because in this apartment it feels like there are a lot of ghosts and stories.
This apartment has so many sounds at night. It's actually terrifying when you sleep on your own, because the wooden floors at night, the air goes cooler, so it cracks.
Yeah.
And you hear the cracking sound, it actually feels like somebody's walking around the apartment. So imagine you're lying in your bed, massive ceilings, and then somebody walks outside your door. It's really scary. This is the original 19th century wooden floor that we kept and cleaned and restored, because we just thought that it has this natural, beautiful feel. Lots of people usually strike the floors down and have it made.
People all the time go to the excursions and Hermitage or Russian Museum or any other palaces in Russia. They would say, "Oh, I just want to imagine how they really lived in these settings." And your room and the other rooms, like the whole apartment, most of it looks like it could be a whole from in heritage. So how does it feel to live in these settings?
Well, it's beautiful if you're grown up, but when you're a kid, it was actually, I was a very rebellious kid. I was listening to Nirvana, and I had red hair, and I was dressed completely different way. And of course, what I wanted is to have crazy amount of posters, something fluffy, something dark, and this room was completely the opposite of what I wanted. One of the sculptures was missing, and it was reconstructed to have this finished look. Originally, on this side, I think there was a male figure, but we thought it would be more symmetrical to have 2 female figures on both sides. So if you look closer, you can see the difference, like in the details of the flowers. In here you can see there's quite a lot of details, the draping, and the face. And on this side, the new one, you can see that it's a bit softer, the details. So that's how you can see the difference. It wasn't just not being able to put a poster on the wall. I was not even allowed to touch the walls because you can have the fingers that leave the marks. And because obviously the golden leaf, I mean, like you can't touch the wall. That's the golden leaf. So for me, it was not that. I didn't really appreciate it until I became much older.
Sweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you.
We found some old photographs in the walls, and we were looking for some treasures inside the fireplaces, but I think it was just some old broken things in there, because we thought that it could be like one of those places where people would hide things. Also, there are lots of stories about old historical apartments where people would stripe down the floors, and underneath they would find treasure. They would find golden forks and spoons and like lots of treasures. There are lots of stories like that, but not in this place.
Do you think that the setting you grew up somehow affected you, or?
I think it's not really about the setting, it's more the family, because our family loves history, and there were always conversations about the historical parts, the philosophy, the art. Our family was really connected to that. So it doesn't really matter where you live if you have this kind of background when you grow up. And the whole city is very historical. So when you go to kindergarten, we went to that school. I went to kindergarten in that school, and they take you to the museum almost every week when you're a tiny kid. So you get used to this. You get used to the painting, to the architecture, to history. You grow up in this.
Is it one of the reasons, of course, your family probably why you became an artist? What do you think?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I never wanted to become an artist. When I was living in Russia, I never did any painting really. It wasn't until I went to school in England and took art, my A-level, I realized that it's amazing. Because it was modern as well, because there were new techniques. It wasn't just oil painting or like traditional, because in Petersburg, it's very traditional. The art, the teaching of the art is very old school, very old school. And in England, it's very modern. They're like, try everything, yes, you can just break the glass, it will be art. So they make you look at it in a different way. This is how I became more into art. And after that, you appreciate the history part even more when you come into the modern bits, when you learn that.
Because art is an expression of your emotions. Like it's kind of like a different art. It could be dancing, painting, music, or anything. So
you can express it.
Yes,
really different.
Because even if you know the technique, it won't teach you how to express your emotions.
Yes, that's true. Which is why I'm not a big fan of the old school teaching, because it just teaches you, it makes your hand do beautiful work, but it kind of takes away the soul a little bit, because you're only working in the technique that you've been taught, because they tell you for like 6 years that this is the way you have to paint, this is the way you have to use the paint, the brush, this is how you have to hold the brush. They actually do that. They teach you how to, like, little details. So it kind of takes away a bit of your own part that you put into art usually. And this is why I loved art in England, because they encourage you to do everything in a completely different way. When you ask them, I remember the first time I tried oil painting, I was like, so how do I do this? Like, what do I mix? How do I mix oil paint with oil or with a solvent or whatever? Like, don't think about it. Just try it all the ways. It's not going to work, just try it and then see how it works. You have to feel how it works. See what you like, what works best for you. So do that. And like, which brush do I use? Like, any brush. You can take, I don't know, like, take a shoe and paint with a shoe. Whatever, like, do everything. Experiment. And that's
Sophia, my daughter, she's doing rhythmic gymnastics in California. But when we came here, I found an amazing teacher for her who came from the rhythmic gymnastics background, but she's doing right now dancing. She's part of the dancing theater. And for me, it was very important to show my daughter that rhythmic gymnastics, it's a skill set. It's the special order of rules, and the only reason why you can become better, it's just you can practice more. And actually dancing and your body could be a language too.
You can express your feelings with the movement.
Yes. And I think that this is very similar to what she was saying, because Sophia's teacher, dance teacher here right now, Lena, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything she did. She told her that, Sophia, rhythmic gymnastics and ballet is a skill set, and dance is a dialogue. So you tell the story, you tell the emotions, you can show if you're sad or if you're happy. And it's the same with art. I think what I realized only later, I didn't get it when we were at school, the question, what do you think the artist was thinking? Because actually, I mean, you will never know. It's more important what you feel when you look at this.
How it's supposed to be.
This is how
you have to connect to the work, to the painting, and it has to make you feel something.
Reflect, like some expression.
It doesn't matter what you feel. You can hate it, but even if you hate it, it's still a feeling. So it makes you feel.
So it's like also it's a dialogue of emotions, of expression.
If you can learn to express your feelings, to let them out in any kind of form that is good for you, that's great. It can be a dance, it can be painting, it can be math, whatever works for you. It can be chemistry, mixing solutions and stuff, so anything.